So folks, let's talk about the wild ride leading up to Assassin's Creed Shadows. Can you believe the backlash this game stirred up? And I'm not just talking about fans being grumpy, we're talking about actual pushback from Japan and its government, who felt their culture wasn't being treated with the respect it deserved. Yikes. Now here's the tea. Ubisoft has been in a bit of a financial pickle lately, like serious money troubles. Some developers even spilled the beans before launch that if Shadows didn't become a massive hit, the company might need some serious restructuring to stay afloat. Talk about pressure, right? They basically placed all their samurai eggs in one basket with this game. The stakes couldn't be higher for our friends at Ubisoft. They needed this game to absolutely crush it in sales. Well, turns out Assassin's Creed Shadows wasn't exactly the smash hit Ubisoft desperately needed. Isn't it funny how they kept dancing around the numbers? It was all, don't compare it to Valhalla. Please don't use Valhalla as a benchmark. But hey everyone, Shadows is amazing. Meanwhile, Metacritic tells a different story with those pretty mixed reviews. Now, let's be real, Assassin's Creed has a massive fan base, so of course it was gonna sell a few million copies right out of the gate. That's just how these things work. But have you noticed how suspiciously quiet they've been about actual sales figures? All they're sharing is how many players gave it a shot. And according to the data floating around, many folks who tried it didn't stick around for the full samurai experience, which explains those underwhelming Steam numbers we're seeing. Yet despite all this, they're still out there insisting Shadows was just absolutely incredible. So get this, just 1 week after Assassin's Creed Shadows launched, Ubisoft suddenly announces, hey everyone, great news, we've got this amazing investor who totally believes in our company. Nice spin, right? But let's be real about what actually happened here. Ubisoft just went through a massive restructuring to desperately save their company, and it's probably going to leave tons of employees high and dry. Why? Because Shadows simply wasn't the blockbuster hit they told us they needed. The headline says it all. Ubisoft announces restructuring and €1 billion investment. That's right, over $1 billion from Tencent just poured into Ubisoft. But what's actually happening behind the scenes? Ubisoft is basically taking their crown jewels, Assassin's Creed, Tom Clancy, Far Cry, and spinning them off into a whole new company that both Ubisoft and Tencent will own, with Tencent grabbing a hefty 25% stake. In other words, Ubisoft just sold off a chunk of their most valuable IP for $1 billion cash injection just to keep the lights on. And in the process, they basically told thousands of employees, sorry, not sorry, but you might be out of luck. The timing here is just wild. Just a week after Shadows came out, didn't even give it time to simmer in the marketplace before making this move. And now Ubisoft employees are terrified about potential layoffs after this Tencent deal and new subsidiary formation. And you won't believe what happened next. The moment this news dropped, Ubisoft employees reportedly went into full-on panic mode about layoffs potentially coming in the next few months. Can you imagine checking your email and seeing that bombshell? Especially if you're not working on one of the Golden 3 franchises. Of course, right on cue, Ubisoft exec Marie-Sophie DeWitt sent out one of those classic corporate everything is fine emails. I totally understand you're worried, but hey, even if you're not working on these big franchises, you still totally matter. This deal is actually amazing for everyone at Ubisoft. More innovation, more creativity, new chapter, you're all so important. I mean, come on, that email might age like milk left out in the summer sun if they end up showing thousands of people the door. One employee basically said what everyone was thinking. Sure, they can send pretty emails all day long, but we're not stupid. We know where their priorities really are. Another employee confessed, I want to believe my team is safe for now, but honestly, we have no clue. You'd think they could have given us some straight talk before blasting this news to the world. We just want to know what's actually happening. They promised us transparency and regular updates. We'll see if that was just corporate speak or if they actually mean it. Let's be real here, folks. We all know what's actually happening. This isn't some amazing investment opportunity. It's a straight-up bailout. Ubisoft just handed Tencent significant control over their crown jewel franchises, and we all know how this story goes. That control is only going to grow over time. This is basically a desperate stalling tactic no matter how they try to spin it as a big investment in Ubisoft's future. People aren't blind. The writing on the wall is crystal clear. Assassin's Creed Shadows simply wasn't the smash hit they needed it to be. Sure, they're throwing around numbers like 3 million players, but current estimates suggest they've only actually sold between 1.4 and 1.5 million units. Remember when they said they needed this game to be a hit to avoid restructuring? Well, gestures broadly at everything happening now. And here's a delicious bit of irony. Ubisoft was all ready to sue people who criticized their developers, but now those very same employees might end up suing Ubisoft. Those lawyers they hired to silence critics might find themselves defending the company against their own staff. I mean, imagine being a Ubisoft employee right now. You'd be absolutely livid. Not only did many get Ubisoft stock options as part of their compensation packages, but now they're basically being told that version of Ubisoft will be worthless once we strip away all the valuable IPs. Your stock is tanking, and you're probably getting fired. Talk about a double whammy. It'll be fascinating and honestly heartbreaking to watch what unfolds in the coming months as potentially thousands of people lose their jobs. And we all know the predictable cycle that's coming. First, the gaming media claims this game is a smash hit. Then it becomes, well, maybe not a smash hit, but still successful. Then, okay, it didn't make money, but it was still good. Then, even though people criticized it and it didn't sell well, the company's fine. And finally, when massive layoffs hit, those same outlets will somehow blame players. How could fans not support this game? It's the players' fault the company is failing. And so the cycle continues as we watch Ubisoft circling the drain. Same story, different day in the gaming industry. And that wraps up today's look at the Ubisoft situation, folks. If you found this breakdown helpful or entertaining, I'd really appreciate it if you could smash that subscribe button to stay updated on all our gaming industry coverage. Every like and share truly helps this channel grow, and it lets me continue bringing you the real stories behind the gaming headlines without the sugarcoating. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm curious what you think about Ubisoft's future and if you played Assassin's Creed Shadows. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.